Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. We've got a few games for you tonight, and a handful of primetime games. Let me find that primetime schedule. So primetime games won't start until the 10th. Ooh, I like the, I don't know if I just now noticed it or if maybe a setting got changed or the game had an update or something, but I do like being able to see the minor league schedule as well when we're planning out our games. But nothing going on today, so we'll head on to tomorrow. And I'll wait until I see, oh, there's Colby, how are you? Alright, knowing that the primetime games start with Vandals and Voyagers on the 10th, oh hey, look at that, Steiner taking on his old team. Yeah, we'll start with OBX, sure. So we've got Rove and Faulkner on the mound today. Jake Stennett leads things off the base hit up the middle. Vandals get the force at second as Kenny McCormick grounds into a fielder's choice. He's a threat to steal, so they try to pick him off at first, no good, and he's in there safe at second. Already 12 stolen bases now on the year. And that'll be an RBI for Bobby Shmurda. So OBX off to an early score, thanks to some speed on the base pads from Kenny McCormick. Uki Hawaii, who's been slumping to start things off, is going to be robbed of a base hit. Jordan Von Matt deep in left field. The last couple of years for the Vandals have not been good years for catchers so far this year and last. That's going to drop for Godfrey Bowman, so runners on first and second, one out. Phil the Thrill draws a walk, so that brings up Stephen Moore. Bases loaded, one out. And that will be deep enough for a run to score on the sac fly. Hernandez to shallow right field, and it's caught for the third out. So we're tied at 1. Can you guys hear me chewing? Because if you can, I don't want to do that. Kellen Buchanan draws a walk here with 1 out. Jimmy Caliburn grounds into a fielder's choice. He legs it out. He's safe at first. Hawaii gets the runner out at second. That was Caliburn attempting to steal. Here is Marcos Gonzalez now. He grounds to second. Orlando Jackson puts one in play, but it's going to be caught. Diving catch in shallow right field by the Supernova. And Benjamin Bowe with a base hit. That's in the gap in left center field. He has himself a double. Orlando Jackson hitting just .056 on the year with 1 home run, 5 RBIs. It's an interesting stat line. That's an RBI double for Hawaii, looking to bust out of the slump that he's in. Vic Thunder draws a 4-pitch walk. And none of those pitches were particularly bad from Ace Faulkner. You definitely don't want to give a guy like Vic Thunder something to hit with 2 outs. But Godfrey Bowman picks up an RBI. Hawaii scores from second. Phil the Thrill with 2 outs, a full count. He grounds one of the third basemen. He's out at first. That ends the inning. So Vandal's able to score 2 here in the second. I feel like the success rate for stealing, there's a couple of reasons why it feels like it's going down. Because it was so dominant for the Scorpions, I think other teams saw that and thought, I don't want to be embarrassed like that on the base pads. So catchers, or Hawaii for example is a strong arm catcher. That's a home run for Connor Tanner. Takes the lead here. 3-run blast. But then also, offenses are seeing how well it worked for the Scorpions, and they're doing it more themselves. So I think it's a combination of teams attempting it more often and a little bit of catchers maybe focusing a little bit more on their arm. I mean, they only have 2 defensive stats they have to worry about. So ones that didn't worry about their arm early can now adjust to it now. And Hawaii is a strong arm catcher, so he kind of already had that going for him on the attempt we saw there. And that's a 2-out hit for Webster, RBI, as Benson's around from second and scores. Buchanan goes down swinging. That's my opinion. I mean, I haven't watched every single game, obviously, since so many of them are simmed. And I don't really keep track of the stolen base numbers for our league, but I imagine with how well it's worked for the Scorpions, other teams see that and think we can emulate that, so they steal a little more often. They uptick their frequency. Vandals now with the bases loaded, no outs for Orlando Jackson, hitting just 156 on the year. He's got 3 hits, one of them was a home run. And he's going to fly out to center. They're going to send the runner. He's going to score, sac fly. Yeah, we had a period where there were really no good catchers, save for a couple in S5, and there were a lot of them drafted, and again in S6 draft classes. So I think a combination of better catchers, better arms, but then I mean, I can't tell you how many more teams are trying to steal more often, but it seems to me like, just from what I've witnessed, it seems like there's more teams trying to steal now than before. I could be wrong. It could just be a confirmation bias, but I think it's a combination of more shots on goal as well as better catchers. And the Vandals put up a 3 spot in the 3rd inning. They take the lead right back. So if the Vandals continue this pace, they should be able to put up 9 runs in the bottom of the 9th if they need them. Vandals turn 2 here. Feel the Thrill leads things off, grounding out to short. A well hit ball for Stephen Moore, but it's playable and caught. A little too much hang time on that one. Hernandez looking to get out of his slump, no luck there. And the Aviators have a runner on 3rd with just 1 out. Bobby Shmurda, another RBI, this one ties it. He's 2 for 3 today, 2 RBIs each time, knocking home Kenny McCormick. Vandals turn 2 to end the inning. We go bottom of the 5th, tied at 6. Out of town, the Crabs are up big over the Voyagers. It's 8-2 in the 6th inning. Stanton's got a couple of home runs. Valentine and De Niro each with 1. And Death Valley leads 3-0 over the Sloths in the bottom of the 6th. Orlando Jackson a base hit. This one down the line in right field. He's going to try to reach 2nd here. He's safe. Benjamin Bowe draws a walk. Hawaii, a well hit ball to deep left field, but that's landing in a glove instead of the ground. Vic Thunder crushes one left center field. That's gone. It's a 3-run blast for the Vandals. That's his 8th home run of the season. 8 home runs in 66 at bats. And a fly ball from Jimmy Caliburn, the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll do it here in the top of the 6th. Jordan Von Matt grounds out. Steve Moore grounds to 3rd for the 2nd out here for the Vandals. That brings up Hernandez with 2 outs. He grounds to short. Jake Stennett leads off the top of the 7th. He grounds out to short. Orlando Jackson grounds to the first baseman, who fielded himself, and Benjamin Bowe back to the pitcher. To the top of the ninth, out of town. Death Valley's up 6-0 after a 3-run blast from Paulo DeStefano, and Providence is up 10-3. As a team, they've hit 4 home runs against the Voyagers. A run's gonna score for OBX. It's a 7-9 ball game, 2 outs, runners on third, and Jimmy Caliburn brings them home. It's now 8-9. And that'll be the 3rd out for the Aviators here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Vandals up 9-8. Hawaii leading things off. Grounds out to third. Big Thunder grounds out to second. That brings up Bowman with 2 outs, a 2-2 count, and he grounds to the second baseman. Jake Stennon's got himself a single. Kenny McCormick's gonna bunt, and he's out at first. And a bad pitch there lets the runner advance. Connor Tanner no luck there as he grounds out right to the first baseman. And Vandals escape that inning. No run scored. That's the final 8-9. Hey, our win predictor looks like it's fixed, so that's exciting. Aviators lose this one to the Vandals 8-9. They out hit them, however, 14-9. Home runs from Connor Tanner and Vic Thunder. Rove the win, Adams a hold, Mason Brown a save. Rove now has a 7.29 ERA on the season, and after giving up 8 earned runs, he records his first save of the year. Faulkner is third L, giving up 7 runs and 4 1/3. Chang and NX both pitched. Vic Thunder player of the game after going 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs and a walk. 10-3 was your final in Providence as they beat the Voyagers. Sinclair the L. Cowers credited the W, going 4 2/3, allowing just 1 earned run over that time. Jared Stanton player of the game after hitting 2 home runs, picking up a total of 5 RBIs and another hit along the way. Scorpions shut out the Sloths 6-0. They're now tied on the year with 11 wins, 6 losses. Biggio 2 drawn walks. Paulo DeStefano 1 for 3, 3-run blast and a walk. Not a ton of hits in this game. 10 total base runners for Death Valley, and they got 6 runs, so very efficient use of their walks and their hits there. Juiced in the W, 7 innings of shutout baseball, just 2 hits and a walk allowed, and Smoltz 2 perfect innings, 4 strikeouts along the way. Player of the game is Anna Justin. walk away the L. Bolt didn't help, and Bobby Hill picked up the last out. We had a W for the Swift Steeds. They beat the Sentinels. 6-4 is your final. Home run from Murphy. O'Dowd the W. Beck with a home run for the Beavers. Got a win from Yamauchi, a loss for Corey's brother, and Yamauchi was player of the game. Sloth Scorpions right now. Anderson Pooper taking on Chaz Lalake. Sorry for the delay, I was just looking at the lineups. I remember talking before about how I felt the Scorpions were getting slept on in the Crab Sloths debate for this World Series, and I think their overall really proves that for their players. They've got 5 players rated 61 or greater, and 2 in the 70s. Sloths have 5 players. Their normal lineup greater than, actually, wow, those are just 59. So in terms of batting order, it looks like the Scorpions do have the edge over the Sloths. I'm not sure how much I agree with that overall. I definitely think it's pretty close. I think I'd give the Scorpions the edge and the ability to score runs, but their pitching is probably what's holding them back now. Yeah, like Colby mentioned, the difference there is a lot. I believe 20 is the minimum for a player. I don't believe they can be under that. So. Yeah, the Scorpions have a lot of talent in their batting order, especially after adding Ishikawa, getting Du back, and Jimmy Dong's developing quite well. They've got 1 through 7 great players, and 8 and 9 I'm sure developing quite well. I was kind of surprised looking at the ratings for the Sloths. I always assumed their players had better ratings. So I don't know, maybe the ratings aren't all they're cracked up to be. Not all that accurate, but who's to really say? Because I definitely wouldn't want to pitch to Hans, Batten, or Phelps on a regular basis, and I don't believe they got too great of ratings overall. Lalake able to get out of the first inning, no earned runs, no runs at all, 2 hits however. Sophia Bennett grounds to second base. Simon Hans puts one in play. Batten puts one in play, but it's going to be caught as well. So quick inning for Anderson Pooper. I'm sure he's probably doesn't get too many innings like that with that ERA. Ziggy Kofe draws the walk. He's gonna steal second. No, he's out. I wonder if because so many players have been stealing bases, we had those two comical seasons the same year from Biggio and Kofe. I wonder if the league has like adjustment on, kind of like how if you're playing a normal game and you leave the settings as they are, the league progresses over time, the way the AI functions and the way stats will be produced over time. I wonder if having two historic seasons on the base pads in the same year from Biggio and Kofe, if that kind of changed the landscape for stealing bases. Because on that one, I mean, you could tell they expected Ziggy to steal. They basically gave the batter a ball and threw it hard out of the zone and then got him out at second. I don't know if that's what actually happened or if that's just what it looked like on the stream, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a legitimate strategy when you've got Ziggy on first base or Biggio on first base. '27th steal for Biggio. Wow. And he's gonna get third. So that's 28. I just want to see him steal home. That's pretty much what I'm waiting for. Very well hit ball for Dew, and that is gone. That's his fourth on the year. Rough start to the season offensively at the plate, but I'm sure he's hoping that sparks the rest of his season for him. Death Valley now up 3-0. And De Stefano might have one himself. Oh, caught just short of the wall. Ziggy takes a beanball. It brings up Jimmy Dong with 2 outs. And Ziggy's out at second. Second time attempting to steal, unsuccessfully. Another strikeout for Anderson Pooper, that's his fourth now. Well hit ball from Shooty McLish, this could be trouble, and it's gone. That's his third of the season. Shooty's hitting over 350 now on the year. And his OPS right around 1. Speaking of players with OPSs greater than 1, here's Julian O'Sullivan. 1.2 OPS, wow. Batting over 414 after that base hit, a double. Already 8 home runs and 25 RBIs on the year for Julian. Sophia Bennett draws a walk. Simon Hans draws a walk. So bases loaded, 1 out. Roger batting now. Anderson Pooper trying to get out of this with as little damage as possible. Looks like that one dropped. 2-run score. Hans is out at third. So batting with... Oh, and then he's picked off at first. So each team now with 3 runs. 5 hits for Death Valley, 3 for the Sloths. I'll be honest, I got home late to do my prime times as well before the stream, so I just copied somebody that looked like it was correct. I think they had the crabs over Death Valley, so we'll see. I think it was... I'll look, I got it on the other tab here. Voyagers, Vandals, Crabs, Scorpions, and Sloths, Aviators. So I think the Crabs, Scorpions is probably the one you saw the most variance in, and even that probably wasn't a lot. I feel like a lot of teams are sleeping on the Scorpions this year. The Scorpions have the top end of talent that you need to win games. Pitching wise, they just don't have a lot of depth. So if they can get good performances from their lineup on a regular basis when they need it, and their star pitching show up when they're available, I don't see why the Scorpions couldn't win this year. I accidentally bit my tongue at work chewing some gum, I think. And it's a little swollen, and now I keep biting the edge of it when I speak. It's not a good time. I'd recommend you avoid biting your tongue. So Death Valley now, a 4-3 lead. Shooting McClish draws a walk. After that, they put Guy Walker in. To see if I still feel. I focus on the pain. The only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole. The old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember. Yeah, Secret didn't have a great year last year, but there's no reason to think that is going to be a tone setter for the rest of her career. Still an ace. You're still going to regularly get an under 3 ERA. However, when it comes down to the postseason, assuming we have a Death Valley Crabs series, I mean, that's when the starting pitching definitely starts to get lopsided. At that point, Castillo would go against Secret or Rodriguez against Secret, and that would put Rodriguez against, or Castillo, whoever's their number 2, would put one of them against Houston, and then after that, it's definitely the Crabs' favorites with Colfax and no less. Upon my liar's chair. It does, but there's no other games going on right now. And that's a base hit. Beneath the stains of time. Diving catch from Biggio in center. That's the first out here in the 7th. And Robert Phelps with a weakly hit ground ball. He's safe at first. John Schmaltz gets pulled, not sure why with 2 outs, but they pull him. And Musgrave Smythe gets the 3rd out here in the 7th. Dew goes down swinging. Yeah, another thing that would concern me, I'm sure it'll balance out over time as most broad statistics do, given a large enough sample size. But Dew and Paulo De Stefano are both hitting below 220 That's not good at all. They're hitting the long ball and they're picking up RBIs, but you can't rely on solo shots or grand slams, what have you, in the postseason. And Ziggy is safe this time. 1 for 3 now on stolen base attempts. Dong called out on strikes. That brings up Speedy Boy with 2 outs. And that's going to be caught out of play in field. Foul territory. That's a base hit for Shooty McLish. And that's a home run, maybe not. Oh, that's caught at the warning track. So Julian almost picking up the 9th home run, no luck though. And Musgrave Smythe gets himself out of that near miss. Yeah, I definitely am going to have to do something with the way this is arranged. I hate the out-of-town scoreboard blocking the game. Drives me nuts. And Buckshank picking up the RBI. Biggio scores there. Oops. Just wanted to move some stuff. There we go. There we go, that's better.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one
And that's gonna bring home a run.
to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
And we can actually see that ball is going to be caught in left field this time, instead of wondering where it's going to go. Ziggy Kofei with 2 outs. Diving catch in right field from Sophia Bennett robs him of a base hit. However, Death Valley up 9-3 now going into the 9th. Hans, Batt, and Phelps due up for San Antonio.
Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around.
Final score 9-3. 13 hits for the Scorpions, 7 for the Sloths. Home runs from Dew and McLish. Cooper the win, that's his first on the year. Walker and Smoltz both pick up holds. Musgrave Smythe his 3rd save. Lalake the L. Bolt and Hill. Bolt gave up a hit and a walk, got pulled. Hill was able to get out of the jam. He had 3 inherited runners, didn't allow any to score. Squiggly gave up an earned run, and Borkman gave up 2 in his 1 2/3. Biggio, player of the game, 2 for 3, 1 walk, 1 RBI, scoring 3 times. He's now batting .485 on the year. Jesus. That is quite the leadoff hitter. Another home run for Murphy. Sentinels top the Swift Steeds 5-1. A win for Peters, an L for Pisano. Washington the save, Peters player of the game. 4-3 victory for the Swans over the Beavers. Ellis the W. Clayton player of the game.
And the swiftness of the Ranger is still talked about today.
Alright, and we haven't seen the Voyagers yet, and I kind of want to watch myself pitch so I can be upset about it. So, we're going to watch that game, unless, yeah, we'll watch that.
It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground.
Bennett and Stryker, both pitchers taken out of the S7 Draft class.
But he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
Hawaii starts things off, flying out to center field. Vic Thunder grounds. That's to the second baseman. Godfrey Bowman now, full count, 2 outs. He's got himself a little blooper over the head of the shortstop. A 12 pitch at bat. Ryan Stryker now, over 20 pitches to get out of the first inning. He only gave up 1 hit, but 12 pitch at bats, that really sucks to start a game off. Pepe Alzar flies out to shallow center. Connor McDonald, a high hit ball to right center field, should be caught, and it is, again to center field. And Philip J. Fry is hit by the pitch, 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Hawk Russell grounds out back to the pitcher. Oh, the game changed my face gen again. Stephen Moore, a well-hit ball, right field. It's over the head of the right fielder and off the wall. He's got himself, he's thinking 3. He slides in there at third. He should be safe. Runner on third, no outs. Great way to start the inning. Hernandez picks up the RBI. Ryan Stryker already in the 30s for his pitch count here in the second inning. Gonzalez hit by the pitch. Runners on first and second, no outs for Orlando Jackson. He takes the first pitch he sees and hits it high to left field. It's going to be caught just barely in foul territory by Hawk Russell. Benjamin Bowe, he's got himself a base hit. That's down the line, just over the first base pad. A run scores. He's in there at second. Runners on second and third. 1 out for Hawaii. That is well hit, but it's going to be caught in center field. They send the runner from third. He's safe. Hawaii picks up another RBI. That's his 7th of his rookie campaign. Vic Thunder hits one and is caught center field. Vancouver up to an early 3-0 lead. Ryan Stryker, not a good time on the mound. He's not getting blasted. He's just taking a long time to get outs, and you just hate that as a pitcher. Nate Piazza draws the walk. Borthwell with a full count. Pop up over the head of the second baseman. Runners on first and second, no outs for Laddie McBantershire. This one should be caught this time, and it is. Clem Johnson and George McBash due up here. Unless the Vandals turn 2. No such luck though. Borthwell able to break up the throw at second. And Chris Bennett gets himself out of the jam. Well hit ball for Godfrey Bowman. He's thinking 3, and he's gonna get it. High hit ball from Phil the Thrill, shallow center field. They're gonna send the runner from third. He's gonna be out by a lot. Good combination and to get the out. A good throw from Alazar, and quite frankly, that ball wasn't hit very deep. Probably shouldn't have sent the runner. That's a questionable call there. Pepe Alazar, 2 strikes on him. He grounds to third. This one's back to the pitcher. And Phil J. Fry grounds out to second. Alazar to catch on the warning track. Gonzalez flies out to across home left field, and with 2 outs, Orlando Jackson sends one a mile high, just barely out of the infield. Shortstop Clem Johnson there to make the catch. Piazza's first strikeout of the game for Chris Bennett. And Vandals turn 2. I was going to comment on it, but I didn't want to jinx it, so I guess after getting the strikeout I'll mention it. Through the first 3 innings, I didn't yet get a strikeout. I was mostly just getting groundouts or soft flyouts, pop-outs, which I thought was kind of ironic since I had an archetype change to power pitcher, and I basically just devoted all of my TPE to picking up strikeouts since moving to a starting job. And then in this start, I'm not getting the Ks, just 1, and it came off Piazza, who's leading the team in RBIs and tied for lead in home runs. And Laddie called out on strikes there. 99-mile-per-hour fastball, bottom of the zone. Clem Johnson puts this one in play. It's high and shallow center field. And that's caught. Full count, 2 outs. They call him out on strikes. Yep, that was well framed from Hawaii. That was out of the zone. That was me, you're welcome. I would be lying though if I said I did it for you. I definitely did it for me. Phil the Thrill down to the wall in right center field. He's got himself a double here. Stephen Morth an out, runner in scoring position. He flies out shallow left field. And Hernandez flies out. So no runs since the 2nd inning. It's a 3-0 ball game as we go bottom of the 6th. Pepe Alazar goes down swinging. Connor McDonald a base hit. That's the first base hit Chris Bennett's given up in a while, I think since the first inning. Well hit ball for Philip J. Fry. That's in the corner and right center field. Connor McDonald's going to score. Philip J. Fry's got himself a triple. And Hawk Russell draws a walk. It's the dreaded third time through the lineup. Vandals turn 2, so good fielding there. Gets Chris Bennett out of a jam. And Gonzalez has a leadoff base hit here in the top of the 7th. Runner on third, 2 outs. Hawaii, ground ball to the shortstop, not able to leg it out. Groetzker able to shut down the Vandals offense after they got a base runner on the first batter of the inning. Chris Bennett still in there for the bottom of the 7th. Borthwell, a leadoff double here. And Chuck Gamble now. He gets Laddie McBantershire to strike out swinging. Clem Johnson draws a walk. Runners on first and second, 1 out. George McBash now. Weekly hit pop fly. Caught by shortstop Benjamin Bowe. And Pepe Alzar is called out on strikes. It's a 3-1 ball game. I didn't suck this start, so that's exciting. Godfrey Bowman with a well-hit ball, caught at the wall though, just a few inches shy of being a home run. Phil the Thrill with a double, 2 outs. Stephen Moore now. 1 for 3 today. Make that 2 for 4. He tripled in his last at bat. This time he's going to have an RBI double. Diving catch from Vic Thunder in left field. Philip J. Fry, pop fly to center field. That's caught. 2 strikes, pop fly, caught by Benjamin Bowe, the shortstop. Marcos Gonzalez goes down swinging. Orlando Jackson now. Got himself a base hit. So far struggling this year. And Benjamin Bowe grounds into a double play. Always frustrating to see a batter struggling finally get on base, and the very next batter double play. Just kind of kills the confidence, in my opinion. The hopes and dreams of the batter who's trying to get out of a slump. Brandon Adams in now for the save. Not sure why they didn't just let Gamble pitch a little bit more. His pitch count didn't get that bad yet, but we'll see how it goes. 2 outs. Clem Johnson now, hopes and dreams for the Voyagers. Deep fly ball to center field. Jumping, leaping catch. Marcos Gonzalez in deep center. 4-1's your final. Vandals top the Voyagers. Ten hits from Vancouver, and they all came from the middle and bottom half of the lineup. Nothing from Hawaii or Thunder. Hawaii had a sac fly. Chris Bennett picks up his first save or his first win of the season. Striker his second loss. Both pitchers quality starts. Adams the hold, or Gamble the hold. Adams the save. Groetzker giving up 1 earned run and 2 1/3. Outman picks up 2 outs there. Player of the game, Chris Bennett. Holy crap, look at those winds. 18 miles per hour blowing in from center. That might be why we saw a lot of pop flies look like they weren't well hit. They could have been crushed, but with near 20 mile per hour winds, you're not going to see too many home runs. And the Swans top the Beavers again today. Version the W, and he's player of the game. 16-5 blowout in favor of the Swift Steeds over the Sentinels. Home runs from Toledo Jones and Quarter Manchi. Toledo Jones player of the game. Elliott the W, Wright the loss. About to see all of these teams, and we haven't seen the minors yet, so I think we'll do a Swift Steeds Sentinels line game. TJ Sparks taking on Curtis Kane. Louis Storm, leadoff base hit. That's caught in center field. Gonna bring the scoreboard out a little bit. There we go, we got a nice full scoreboard, and we can still see home run balls, so that's just what we needed. Back to the game. Toledo Jones up the middle, he's got himself a base hit. Sydney swing hit by that pitch. Bases are now loaded, 2 outs for Boogie Flowers. And he grounds to second. I really like the new colors for the minor league teams. It's nice to see something other than different shades of gray. Sentinels with the orange accents, the Swans with the pinkish purple, and the Beavers with that tealish aquamarine. It's a shame the logos aren't all updated and whatnot, but and that splits the left side of the infield. A run's gonna score. Another well hit ball. That's Quarter Manchi. They're going to get him out at third, trying to turn that into a triple. But a run does score on that play. Kind of funny to see the old Swift Steeds logo taking on the new Swift Steeds logo, as one's now a Sentinel. King Swamp Troll, there's a name we don't see very often anymore. Ike Thompson. Louis Storm flies out. Parrish grounds out. Toledo Jones now. Well hit ball deep right field, gone. That's his 5th home run on the year. He leads his team in home runs and RBIs. He's batting well over 300 so far. Ben Waters, he flies out to right field. Curtis Kane pops out to left field there. Beavers up 3-0 over expansion class rival Swans there in the 3rd inning. Not able to turn 2. Boogie Flowers legs out to throw. He's safe at first. And same story, different batter. This time it's Phil Blunt safe at first. Logan Cox, a well hit ball to right field. It's gonna be caught though. Jeffrey Murphy's been on a little bit of a hot streak with home runs lately. No luck in that at bat. Quarter Manchi, who's also been hot lately, he grounds out as well. Couple of good minor league games thus far today. Swan Suck is in now for the Swift Steeds. Louis Storm flies out left field. Sean Parrish with 2 outs here in the 5th. Should be easily handled by center fielder Daniels, and it is. Kevin Winters has himself a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 5th. Full count for King Swamp Troll. He draws a walk. Ike Thompson's hit by the pitch. The bases are now loaded. Curtis Kane struggling now in this inning. He's going to have to get himself out of a jam. Ollie Daniels, that's definitely going to score 1 run. That's all they're going to get Runner at second holds. Runners first and second, one out. Timothy Kekton goes down swinging. And Curtis King gets out of a bases loaded, no out situation, allowing just one run. However, his team is now down 2. Toledo Jones a base hit. Ben Waters, double play. Sydney Swing grounds to third. 1-2-3 inning. We're tied at 3 in Milwaukee still. Pop fly from Jeffrey Murphy. And Quartermanchi grounds out to third. Another 1-2-3 frame here in the 6th. We go to the 7th. Alcatraz up 3-1. It's a leadoff base hit for Boogie Flowers. Phil Blunt checks his swing, earns a walk. Logan Cox now. He also draws a walk. Bases loaded, no outs. Huge opportunity here for the Swift Steeds. They're going to have to settle on a sac fly here for 1 run. Runners on first and second, 1 out for Louis Storm. And an error on the play. Everyone is safe. Bases loaded once more. Sean Parrish. That'll be a sac fly. So 2 outs now. It's a tied ball game. Runners on first and second for Toledo Jones. And another base hit for Jones. He is now 4 for 4 today. Homering earlier and picking up another RBI there. Swift Steeds take the lead late. Ben Waters grounds out to second. Time for the 7th inning stretch. And we'll see if the Sentinels can tie it back up or get the lead back. King Swamp Troll pops out. Center field. Mike Thompson's in play. It's going to drop. He's got himself a 2-out single, giving Ollie Daniels a chance. And that should be caught. It is. Left fielder Sydney Swing. Speaking of Sydney Swing, leading off the 8th, he's got himself a single. Boogie Flowers lines out to center field. Phil Blunt, full count, 1 out. Pops out shallow right. And Body McBot Pants comes in and picks up a couple outs to get out of the 8th. Timothy Kekton, pop fly to right field. Huge moment for Jeffrey Murphy here, and he strikes out. Rodney Flecka gets him swinging. Deontay Washington in now to try to give his team a chance in the bottom of the ninth. Three up, three down. Things have gotten out of hand in Milwaukee as the Swans are now down 3-7 to the Beavers. Quartermanchi goes down swinging. Kevin Winters now draws a walk. So the tying run is aboard here in the bottom of the ninth. One out for King Swamp Troll, who also draws a walk. So he's the winning run now, is on first. One out. And Beavers Suck has now walked the bases loaded. Still just one out. That's a well hit ball. If that drops, that's the game. It's a grand slam, walk-off grand slam from Ollie Daniels. Bottom of the ninth, walk-off grand slam. Sentinels take the victory. Final score 7-4. Again, that's Ollie Daniels with the walk-off grand slam. He picked up 5 RBIs today. Toledo Jones, another great game, 4 for 4, 2 RBIs. Washington credited to the W. And Beaver Sucks picking up the loss in the blown save. Toledo Jones, player of the game despite his team's losing performance. Yeah, I don't know why they even included that. I'm guessing they were going to pull Sucks after that home run and they wanted to put O'Dowd in, but the game was over. I don't know. Rapinski, player of the game. Oh my goodness, the Swans came back to win that one, 8-7. Beavers got up big in the 7th and let it slip away in the 8th and the 9th. The discount Bobby Hill blowing the save, getting the L. Panini, 2 earned runs and 2 1/3. Rapinski, player of the game. He had a home run in the 8th and picked up several RBIs, 5 of them that game. Crabs win 5-1 over the Scorpions. A lot of home runs for the Crabs. Running Kiwi, Jackson, and Stanton all with 1. Wallach VL, he gave up 3 hits, and that was... Were they all off him? 2 of them were home runs. Rodriguez the W, 7 shutout innings. Rose picked up... Excuse me. Rose with 2 shutout innings. Esteban Rodriguez, player of the game, against a couple of his old teammates, including his old catcher. A 4-1 victory for the Voyagers. They're back to 500 over the Vandals. Max in the L, 2 earned runs and 6 1/3. Adams, 2 earned runs and 1/3. Lucas North the win. Grotzker the hold. Fernandez the save. Excuse me, Lucas North, player of the game. Home run from Nate Piazza. Hawaii with the only extra base hit of the game for Vancouver. And Aviators pull out a 6-2 victory against the Sloths. And our scoreboard thing is screwed up, so that's a bummer. Was working for so long and now it's not. Turner the win, Austin the L. Darnell Turner, player of the game. Only one extra base hit for the Sauce that game, and it came from Robert Phelps. So it is now time for our primetime games. We've got TPE on the line now, folks. We've got Greg Steiner taking on Philip Thompson. Voyagers Vandals. Greg Steiner's playing his old team. Vandals with a interesting lineup today. Vic Thunder leading off as their backup catchers in today. Definitely an interesting lineup. This does not give me confidence if I picked the Vandals, which I didn't, but especially going against Greg Steiner. His first start against his old team. Clem Johnson grounds out to short there. And George McBash goes down swinging. Pop fly, shallow center field. Max, is the audio still screwed up for you? And Orlando Jackson puts that one in play, but felt Jay Fry able to track it down and make the catch. San Antonio up over OBX 3-0. right now, and the Crabs are tied at 1 with Death Valley. Pepe Alzar lines out to third base. Connor McDonald goes down swinging. Is it still doing it? That's weird. I'm gonna try skipping the song and seeing if that resets it, since that was almost over anyways. And Moore with 2 outs. He's got himself a single. Splits the right side of the infield. Hernandez now. And Moore out at first, getting careless with his lead. Gets picked off. Hawk Russell grounds to short. Nate Piazza puts one in play, but it's caught by the center fielder. And that's Thompson's first walk, first base runner of the game. And Laddie grounds out. Gonzalez puts one in play. It's going to be caught by Alzar, I imagine, and it is. Benjamin Bowe grounds to first. Quick inning, 3 up, 3 down. Still looking for our first run of the game. Clem Johnson's going to be leading things off here in the top of the 6th. He grounds to short. And George McBash grounds to third. And Pepe Alzar called out on strikes. That's Phil Thompson's 5th strikeout now. We're still tied at 1 in Providence as they take on the Scorpions. And it's a 2-4 ball game favoring this loss in San Antonio as they take on the Aviators. Maiki grounds out to short. Vic Thunder flies out left center field. That is Hawk Russell with the catch. Orlando Jackson up the middle, 2-out single. Still hitting sub 100 right now. And Godfrey Bowman pops out shallow left field. So we go to the 7th. Connor McDonald checks his swing, but he went around. Philip J. Fry gone. That's a home run in the top of the 7th to break up. Philip Thompson's a no-hitter. What a shame that is. Still just a walk and a hit for Philip Thompson. Great outing thus far. Hopefully doesn't let that one pitch that got away from him get to him the rest of the game. He's still got a good chance to get a complete game here if he really wants to, if he keeps pitching this way, and if the offense can get it together for Vancouver. Phil the Thrill leading things off here in the bottom of the 7th. He's got extra base hits there. He stands in at second, a leadoff double. That brings up Stephen Moore, no outs. Got to capitalize here. And he flies out to left. Hernandez. What the hell was that? Terrible decision to steal. Phil's out by a mile, trying to steal third for no apparent reason. Hernandez drew a walk. That doesn't matter. Gonzalez goes down swinging. We go to the 8th. Voyagers up 1-0 as Greg Steiner takes on his old team for the first time as a Voyager. Laddie picks up a base hit that splits the left side of the infield. The runner's on first and second, no outs. Clem Johnson up the middle. Nobody able to field it. Bases loaded, no outs. George McBash to center field. They're going to send the runner from second and third. The run scores. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Pepe Alazar should be a double play, and he legs it out, so another run scores, and the inning continues. Connor McDonald up the middle. Benjamin Bowe not able to get there in time. You know the pitchers are missing Gold Glove after Gold Glove infielder they used to have up the middle and run a Kiwi and McDonald. Those are the type of hits that wouldn't be hits, and a lot more double plays would be turned if they had those two again. Bottom of the 8th for the Vandals. They need to get something going here. They're down 3-0. You may not have won a Gold Glove, but are you telling me that you would rather have a rookie Benjamin Bowe over Run a Kiwi, or Phil the Thrill over Run a Kiwi? I mean, there's definitely plays that Run a Kiwi would be able to make right now that they haven't had. And again, even if it was just all batting, he probably would be able to pick up at least 1 run this game, and that could be all the difference. Vancouver able to score 2, they're down 1 going into the 9th inning. Philip Thompson looking to go the distance this game. Piazza grounds out. And that should do it. So we go to bottom of the 9th. Vancouver down 1. They've got more Hernandez Gonzalez due up. And if they make it past that, wow, that is not looking good for the Vandals. They've got Stephen Moore, who's batting .264. He's got a leadoff base hit. After him, to attempt to score the tying or winning run, they have 4 consecutive batters, all batting below 200. Here's Hernandez. Infield fly. It's caught by the catcher. Gonzalez. Shallow pop fly in the outfield. It's caught by Alazar. Moore's going to tag from second. He's safe at third. 2 outs. Benjamin Bowe grounds out to short. That ends it. Vandals fall 3-2. Philip Thompson, player of the game, going 9 innings, not allowing a hit until the 7th. 3 earned runs. Greg Steiner goes 8, gives up 2. Fernandez picks up the save. Bowman picked up 2 RBIs there for the Vandals. Alazar, Fry, and McBash RBIs for New York. Home run from Fry. The first hit of the ball game. So that was our first primetime game. Again, that was a primetime game. Voyagers Vandals. If you Pick the Voyagers. You just got yourself some TPE. Outer Banks able to upset the Sloths here. 6-5's the final. I don't know why this works sometimes and then absolutely does not other times. But the Aviators able to score 3 runs in the 9th to pick up the W. Khan giving up 2 earned runs in 6 innings. Squiggly blowing the save, credited the L. Karpatsev the W. Shields the save. Simon Hans, player of the game despite his team's losing effort. He went 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. Crabs able to score late, keep the game from going in extra innings. Final score 2-1. Crabs favor. They're tied 12-8 on the season now against Death Valley. Castillo and Cowers on the mound. Hard to beat that combination. Death Valley, Juicin gave up 1 earned run. Smoltz, the L, giving up an earned run there. Guy Walker kind of gave it up really, but and Musgrave Smythe picked up an out. Castillo, player of the game. Home run from Buckshank and from De Niro. Our next primetime game, we've got Crab Scorpions. Tyler Oles taking on Victoria's Secret. I think I picked the Crabs to win this one, but if I knew Secret was going to be on the mound, I may not have. Yeah, I picked the Crabs to win this one. Kevin Biggio, a leadoff base hit. He's going to steal second. No attempt even made to get him out. Buckshank goes down swinging. Ishikawa, he's hitting 293 again. Biggio, another stolen base. 35 now on the year. And that'll be an RBI for Ishikawa. Glad to see him doing much better. He struggled last year, and it looked like he was going to have another rough year this year. He was slow out of the gate, so hopefully he can maintain that pace. And that is a monster of a home run from Paulo De Stefano. 469 feet. That's out of the park here. 3-run blast. That was a fastball out of the zone, down and away, but that did not stop Paulo from getting after it and getting it gone. And Jackson, a 2-out single here. Hoping to get something started for the Crabs here in the second. Those hopes quickly extinguished as Keeks Marone strikes out. Another close game early for Sloths and Aviators. They're tied at 3. Voyagers off to a big lead early. It's 5-1. Against the Vandals. Hawaii with the home run, only run for the Vandals. And Matthew Valentine grounds to the shortstop there. Biggio grounds out, not able to outrun that one. Buckshank beat the shift there. He's got himself a base hit. And that's up the middle for Ishikawa. Runners on the corners, one out for Dew. That's up the middle, that's a base hit. Death Valley looking to bury the Crabs this game. And Ziggy flies out to left field. And Dinero called out on strikes. Mike Boss, well hit. That's going to drop. Just the second hit of the ball game for this lethal Crabs batting order. Adrian Columbus grounds out. That ends the top of the fourth. Jackson flies out to left. Keeks Marone just short of the home run there. It's caught on the warning track. And Austin Dye grounds to second. The more we get to see this Scorpions team, the more I think that they've got a good chance of playing. I feel like, see, I don't know. The Crabs have better pitching, so it'll really just depend on the seeding. If I don't know. It's a weird situation. I think any one of these three teams can win the World Series, and it'll ultimately come down to who's pitching. I feel like I think the Scorpions have the ability to score more runs than either of those two teams. I think the Crabs have the best pitching of any of the three teams, and I think the Sloths are probably the most well-rounded of the three. I don't know. I think that this season might be a good year to make some good deadline trade acquisitions, just because it could go to any team. One good trade would definitely set that team over and above the threshold on what you want your team to be when you go and try to win a World Series. Dew's got himself a solo shot homer there to lead off the bottom of the sixth. It's a 5-0 ball game for the Scorpions. OBX able to take the lead late. Scorpions extend the lead now. It's 6-0. Ishikawa picks up the sack fly there. Stanton goes down swinging. Secret now over 100 pitches. Runner on second, one out. Zanero grounds to the first baseman. Runner on third now. And he's going to score. Mike Boss has himself an RBI double with 2 outs. If I'm the Scorpions, I let Secret keep pitching. No reason to pull her yet. Columbus goes down swinging. And do lines back to the pitcher, Oles, who's still out there. You'd think after 9 hits and 6 runs, you'd maybe think about moving to the bullpen, but I guess when your offense isn't doing anything, you give your bullpen the day off. Keeks Marone, diving catch from Biggio in center field. Austin Dye to right field. Should be an easy play for Dong, and it is. And that's your final 6-1. Secret, the complete game. 126 pitches, just 1 walk, 7 hits, 11 strikeouts. Player of the game. Oles also 8 innings, however he gave up 6 runs, 9 hits, 10 strikeouts though. Home runs from Dew and De Stefano. Meanwhile, an 8-run effort in the top of the 9th from the Sloths overcome their 5-4 deficit and give them a 12-5 victory. Walk away 5 earned runs in 7 innings. Bolt finishes the game. Mookie Banks 4 earned runs in 7 1/3. Shields blows the save. Annex the loss. Mai adds insults to injury, and so does Chang. Simon Hans, player of the game, going 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. He had a home run. And 10-3 victory for the Voyagers over the Vandals. Rove the loss, Sinclair the win. Both starting pitchers today with ERAs over 7. Hawk Russell, player of the game. He went 3 for 6 with 4 RBIs, including a home run in the 8th. Portland Beavers shut out by the Sentinels. 4-0 is your final. Hunter the win. Corey's brother the loss. Swans top the Swift Steeds 5-2. Ben Waters, player of the game despite his team's losing effort. Smokey the L. Yamauchi the win. Ellis picks up a save there. And our final primetime game, we've got the Sloths taking on the Aviators. Chaz Lalake and Ace Faulkner. I have to imagine this is what it usually looks like, and the fact for the which player is better throughout the lineup. And despite the Aviators only being credited with one better player and a tie in the 9-hole, I'm very happy to see the Aviators winning some of these games. It honestly looks like any team besides the Vandals, ironically, has the opportunity to succeed this season with 3 front runners. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see the Voyagers succeed. I would be somewhat surprised to see the Aviators in the postseason, especially succeeding in the postseason. But they're putting up the good fight thus far this season, and that's good to see. It's exciting to see it not just be 1 or 2 teams picking up 60 wins on the season and clinching, you know, by the All-Star game basically. So I think it's going to be an exciting year for most teams. And an error allows Jake Stennett to reach as the leadoff hitter. McCormick quick enough to prevent that from being a double play. McCormick stolen base attempt. He's out. That's the 3rd out. Leadoff walk for Roger Batten. A well hit ball gone. That is a 2-run blast for AJ Robertson. That's his 4th home run on the year. DH looking to bust out of his slump. Castro now. And Stephen O'Sullivan, a 2-out single. That's up the middle of the infield. That's ground into a double play to end this 2nd inning. It's a 2-1 ball game. Julian O'Sullivan, a leadoff base hit here in the 3rd. by 10, so we'll see if such a difference still. Yeah, I think Colby might be onto something, that the base running attribute being a bigger factor in 19 than 18, because there's been a lot of plays that were downright bad decisions. Never a good sign, going to the bullpen in the 4th inning with no outs. This classifies as cruel and unusual now. The bases are loaded with no outs. Part of it may also be teams' preferences, strategies to be aggressive on the base pads. I'm not sure every team's lineup off the top of my head, so at this point, a 14-1 deficit, whatever pitcher's on the mound right now, for me, I'm leaving in all the rest of the game. Injuries aren't a thing in our league, so I'd say sorry, John Chang. I know you get tired around like 40 pitches, but we're going to need you to finish this one. If your ERA is 85 for the rest of the season because of this one inning, well, sorry, boss. Is that better? Thanks. Yeah, I changed, no one was making any song requests, and I get pretty sick and tired of our like default playlist for this station. So since there were no song requests, I just put on a Spotify playlist of mine. Just because I can do what I want. So, alright, is that good? I find it odd that it's louder for you now than before. It sounds quieter to my ears. That's okay, I can static my Spotify feed. So you guys still feel free to request songs. I'll still queue them up. It just won't be through. Alright, is that better for the sound? Well, you said you wanted it to be quieter. It doesn't really get any quieter than, you know, silent. Did you want the Simon and Garfunkel version or the Disturbed version? Daywig. I feel like at this point it's just like music time with Topher in the booth because this primetime game is not enjoyable. There's been 20 run ball games before, so I don't know if we'll get to that or not. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a 30 run ball game before, but the Sloths have run up the score pretty hard on some teams in the past. See, this game has a little bit of everything for spectators. If you like high scoring games, just watch the Sauce when they go to the bat. If you like pitchers duels, just lie to yourself every other half inning and just watch the Sauce pitch and forget that the score is 15-1. It's really it's a perfect game for everybody. Julian O'Sullivan back below 400 on the season, so that's pretty mediocre. And OPS still above 1. So who's ready to have their mind blown when the Aviators scored 20 runs in the bottom of the ninth to walk this game off? Yeah, all you gotta do is hit, you know, 4 grand slams and it's anybody's game. Yeah, at this point, I would trade 1 TPE to watch the Aviators score 20 runs in the ninth inning. That'd be awesome. I wonder what the most runs scored in a single inning is. The Sloth scored 9 in the third, so if that is the record, we're going to have to see that record broken again this game. Man, this song has very quiet parts and very loud parts. There's a fun fact about this song. When I was on night shift, I would come home and I'd put a Spotify playlist on as I went to bed. And generally, by the time I fell asleep, I was at the spot in the playlist where this song would play. And after doing that for a couple weeks straight, I like. All right, I turned the volume up again. If this is, I don't know what to tell you, but I felt like I Pavlov conditioned myself to like fall asleep to this song, so I'm a little afraid of falling asleep while this song plays, but we'll see how it goes. Final score 16-1. I'm disappointed in both of these teams for either not scoring more runs or for not scoring more runs. Lalake the win. Hill pitched. He did good, but at that point it didn't matter. Doing great on the year, 1.98 ERA. Stephen O'Sullivan, player of the game, going 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs. Something rare to see out of the leadoff spot. Game score -15. Oof, that's not good. 12 earned runs in 3 innings. They should have had him finish the game. He could have turned it around. And the Crabs able to edge one out over the Scorpions. 3-2 is the final. They score a run in the 9th to take the lead. Carbine the loss. He gave up that final run there late. Cowers credited the W and Rose the save. Koufax player of the game after giving up 2 earned runs in 7 innings. Swift Steeds win big, 10-1 over the Swans. Home runs from Cox and Waters and Matthews. Pisano player of the game. Pisano the win, Lang the loss. Cox player of the game. Panini the L as the Sentinels win one over the Beavers 2-1. Peters player of the game. Washington the save. So that's all of our primetime games. I think we've got 3 games left, and we haven't seen the Beavers or Swans. Do they play each other before we're done here? The Swans play, Beavers play today. Do we have any Beavers, any Swans fans or GMs in the chat? You want to see your team play today? Speak now or forever hold your regrets. Alright, Beaver it is. We got Omar Wright on the mound, taking on a bot. Oh, you got your pitcher DHing? What the? You've got a center fielder as your pitcher? Are these 2 different people? Yeah, those are right. Yeah, those are 2 different people. Why would you do that? Oh, Pinchy. See, that's what happens when you don't know how to read. Alright, we're underway. I really like that shade of blue for the Beavers here in this game file. I think it looks quite pretty. No, not all the uniforms and logos are in the game. Hopefully they'll be there sooner than later. I know work has been made on at least getting players in the game to wear their correct uniform. We've got guys now, after changing the Swift Steeds colors, we've got guys on the Sentinels wearing the old Swift Steeds green uniform and all sorts of other silliness. So hopefully we'll be able to make some progress in fixing that after spending a lot of time getting ready for this season, just being on the new platform, making the change from 18 to 19. So it's on the to-do list, but it's not on the to-done list. I wonder how much of the base running mistakes have to do with it being the change to 19, where it feels like base running matters more, and how much of it is minor league ball, where the stats just aren't as good. People are more likely to do dumb stuff as they're developing. And that's going to score a run for the Sentinels. So they're on the board now in the 4th inning. It's a 1-0 game. Milwaukee is up 3-1 over the Swift Steeds. Yeah, that's true as well. I actually think it's good that we're seeing that kind of thing. It's nice to see stuff actually matter in player builds. I know, base running speed and base running stats in general are attributes a lot of players had no reason to really care about, no reason to develop beyond either base minimums or whatever they picked up in equipment on a seasonal basis. So it's nice to see it actually make a difference, because good base running matters. Yeah, I've always valued base running in the games. Like when I play my own game, I've always, tried to make sure my players don't have terrible base running. But it's nice to actually notice the kind of a difference it makes, because we've got a lot of guys with just the default terrible base running attributes that you get as a rookie going into this league, and a lot of people never felt the need to improve them. So it's nice to see that it does actually matter. It's not just one of those attributes that exist without a purpose. So I think it's good. I'm not a fan of how one-dimensional certain batters can be. It's nice to see variety, not just across the league, but in players themselves. We've got a lot of batters that just focus on one thing or maybe two things. It's not very often that there's actually a super well-talented, well-rounded batter. It's pretty few and far between. And we go to bottom of the 8th. It's a 1-0 ball game. Well hit ball from Jeffrey Murphy, but it's going to be caught in right field. We go to the 9th, last chance for the Beavers. They're down just 1 run. Omar Wright looking for the complete game, just 85 pitches through 8 innings. And after that leadoff walk, he's pulled. And a walk there. So the tying run's now in scoring position. The leading run is on base. A Sippy Jr. now. Not quite as clutch as his father. He grounds into a double play to end the game. Final score 1-0 in favor of the Sentinels. Beavers drop this game. Wright going 8 innings, just 4 hits, 1 walk. He's player of the game. And an 8-2 victory for the Swans. Matthews with a home run. Bergeron the W. Elliott the loss. And I think that's going to be our last game. Eyes are starting to get heavy. So we've got 2, 3 more games for everybody. (6-0) shutout. Scorpions do it again to the Voyagers. Wallach on the mound this time, so maybe the Scorpions have a deep enough pitching staff to get it done when it matters the most. We'll see. I think they'll be a playoff team, but it's still early. Anything could happen. Yep, that's Biggio's first home run of the season. It's bound to happen eventually. 5-2 victory for the Crabs. They pass the Sloths now in win-loss record. Rodriguez the W, Cowers the save, Austin the L. Rodriguez player of the game, going 7 1/3 with just a walk and 4 hits, no one runs, double-digit strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 1.57 now. And oh, I'm on the mound for this one. Let's see how bad that goes. Holy crap! A shutout and run support. 7 shutout innings out of Chris Bennett. 5 hits allowed, 4 walks. Chuck Gamble picks up a save. 2 innings. Chris Bennett, player of the game. Home runs from Hernandez, Jackson, Phil the Thrill. No, not a single extra base hit for Outer Banks there. Turner picks up his first loss on the year, giving up 5 earned runs in 5 2/3. Black suit Spider-Man Chris Bennett throwing the heat. Wind blowing in again. So I feel like I need to pitch around the weather. 8-4 is your final. Beavers pick up a win over the Sentinels. Paquette with a home run. Oxnard the W. Oxnard player of the game. And the Swans big win. 8-1 is your final over the Swift Steeds. Some big scoring innings here in the 6th and the 7th. Sentinels, all their runs came in the 7th inning. That was a triple, a bases loaded triple had something to do with that one. Eight one's the final here. Swans win big. Kane got boomed off of that lineup. 7 earned runs, 8 total, and 5 2/3. Two more games left for everybody. Khan picks up an L. Crabs win 5-1. Castillo the W. Khan off to a rough start to the year last season. Such a memorable start. I don't think I'll ever forget being able to be a part of that perfect game broadcast. That was really something special. Castillo's player of the game, Rose the save. San Antonio, just 2 hits all game, a couple of singles from Sophia Bennett, Roger Batten. 10-3 victory. Scorpions win big on the Voyagers. Voyagers score 2 in the top of the 9th. Obviously not enough to make a difference. Juiced in another W. 2.44 ERA on the season now. Smoltz another hold, 2 flawless innings with 3 strikeouts. He's really starting to turn around now. Carbine giving up 2 earned runs. His ERA now up to 3.07. Northie L. Ludwig gets hit pretty hard there in 1 2/3, giving up 5 earned runs. He's already pitched so much though that 5 earned runs in less than 2 innings doesn't hurt his ERA too much now. It's 3.06. Ziggy Kofe, player of the game, after going 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. And we've got a extra inning walk-off victory for the Aviators, 6-5 over the Vandals. Hawaii with a 9th inning home run, and Webster with a walk-off home run in the 10th off Mason Brown. So Maxon a good start. Gamble a hold. Adams blows the save, and Brown picks up the loss. And Gamble didn't even give up that earned run. That was Adams inheriting the runner there. Blown save for Shields. NX picks up the W. Webster, player of the game, after that walk-off home run. He also had a triple. Webster went 4 for 5 today, 2 RBIs. So this will be the last bit here. 6-1 victory for the Scorpions. Man, they I know I've been critical of their pitching, but when their offense is able to score 6 runs, I don't see their pitching giving up 6 runs in a game. So if they can maintain that, they're something special. Secret's 5th win of the season. Smoltz a hold. Steiner picks up his 3rd loss. Secret player of the game. 91 degrees. Oof. It's a hot one. Biggio hitting 442. Holy crap. A 9-4 victory for the Vandals over the Aviators. Thompson another complete game. And Banks 5 earned runs and 8 1/3. And some pretty mediocre relieving. Cantor had 3 inherited runners and gave up all 3, but was somehow not charged with. I don't know how that works. So Shields gave him 3 runners. He let them all score. Shields got charged with 2 earned runs. Nowhere was there an unearned run. I don't know. Relief pitching and assignment of earned runs are stupid. I don't get it. Benjamin Bowe, player of the game. And last but not least, 6-5 victory, Crabs over the Sloths. Sloths had the lead for most wins for most of this sim, and once they had a series against the Crabs and the Scorpions, they dropped to 13-12. A win for Colfax, save for Cowers, Squiggly a blown save and a loss. Stanton, player of the game, after going 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Stanton had 2 home runs, one in the 3rd, one in the 7th. And our minor league 5-4 victory, extra inning game. We went to the 11th for this one. Swift Steeds pick up their 15th win. The W is assigned to O'Dowd, and the loss and blown save to Abbott. Ben Waters, player of the game, after going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Ben Waters 2 home runs that game, including 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 11th. So that's our sim. We'll go to our standings here with 16 wins, leading the East and the Western divisions. Providence Crabs and Death Valley Scorpions with 13 wins, 12 losses come in the Sloths. Game behind them in the wild card is the Voyagers. They're 12-13, followed by Outer Banks at 10-15. The Vandals pretty far behind, 18-17. So we're a quarter of the way through the season. If the season were to go the way this first quarter has, the Crabs and Scorpions will both have 64 wins on the year. The Sloths picking up 52, Voyagers 48, Aviators hit 40 wins, and the Vandals coming in with just 32 wins on the year. And in the minors, it's a pretty close contest. I know it doesn't feel like it for the Beavers towards the bottom, or perhaps not the Sentinels, but it really is still anybody's game. We're just a quarter of the way into the year. State College with 15 wins, on pace to win 60. And the Swans, 13 wins, on pace to win 54. Those are our 2 playoff teams if the season ended today. On the outside looking in, Sentinels with 11 on pace to win 46 wins, and the Beavers with 10 on pace to win 40. Yeah, the last 10 really speaks to how streaky baseball can be. The Beavers 1-9 in their last 10. Swans 9-1. So Beavers aren't out of it. They had a rough 10 games. Can go either way. So that's all I've got. I guess we can look at some power rankings before we skedaddle. This was on the 12th, so this was at the start of the week. We're towards the end of it. Beavers coming in 4th, followed by Sentinel, Swans, Swift Steeds, just like our standings show. Power rankings in the majors. Vandals, Aviators, Sloths, Voyagers, Crabs, Scorpions. So similar to our standings. I do think that this has the potential to be a very exciting season, especially with these power rankings, if they're accurate. We've got a team at 103.9. We'll round that up to 104. And then two teams at 105. We can round that one up. So 104, 105, 106. It's going to be a very exciting season, I think. So I'm pretty thrilled for it. Alright, that officially concludes our stream tonight. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. We'll see you again Tuesday. Until then, have a good time.